Hi y'all, this is Molly RNY's journey, and this is my week 4 update. So crazy that it has been 4 weeks since surgery. Unreal. Time has flew, that's for sure. So first we'll start out with the numbers. And so my start weight was 273, my surgery weight was 256. My current weight is 233.6, so that is 3 pounds down for the week, and it is 39.4 pounds down total. Crazy. I mean, I actually posted a picture to my WLS Facebook page, which is Molly RNY journey as well. From June of this past year, which really wasn't even my highest weight. My highest weight was in March, but that was kind of the only like full body shot that I had that was the latest, because I was definitely not the type who would willingly do a whole body shot. So compared to September, which was a month before surgery, and then compared to currently yesterday, Friday. So I mean I can tell there are some changes, and it was all in the same outfit, so and I can tell some changes, but there's nothing, I don't feel it's very drastic yet. So I'm continuing to move on and know that at some point I'm gonna probably look back at a picture and be like, wow, and I can't wait for that, actually. So a few things I wanted to talk about. So and I mentioned this in my last video, my surgeon's office is, I'm pretty sure I mentioned it, is almost like pro carb intake. So I have tons of options on my, what they call green sheet, and that's what we're allowed to eat that's carb oriented, and no protein goals. I mean, I do have water goals, but no calorie goals. And so I just got to the point this week that I was just like, I don't know if I 100% feel comfortable with that. And so I did get a hold of the nutritionist, but she stuck to her guns, and she's just like, that's not how we work. And she feels that even though, I mean, I had the RNY, so they're bypassing some intestines, so obviously less nutrition intake, but she says it's not less enough that they need to push the protein goals. And she said, I also don't want to push any calorie goals because I don't want to force you to try to eat more than what you can handle. And they're not pro protein shakes after week 3, or any liquid form of calories. So I'm going to try my best to make some good choices along the way, but since I have a list of what I can and can't eat, and some of that stuff is carb related, I probably will eat some carbs along the way, because at this point I'm just kind of getting bored of what I am eating, because I'm limiting myself from what they say I can eat, if I hope that makes sense. So I don't know really what to think, because I know a lot, like the majority of the rest of you, like your surgery centers give you a protein goal, and I think I'm going to try to get some of that protein powder you can just mix into like a yogurt or something, just to add to my daily protein, because I'm not hitting very high goals for protein at all. Plus I feel sometimes when I eat some of those carb stuff, like I had a few crackers the other night, and the next morning it was a 0.2 gain on the scale. I mean, it was the only gain I've had in quite some time, and then it fell back off, plus some the next day. But I don't know, I'm just kind of going with it. I know that my surgeon's office, from other people that have had surgery there before and has worked with him, has been very successful. So in a way I just want to trust his process, but in a way I'm just a bit worried, and I'm going to be kind of conscious of that whole thing. So a couple of my flaws this week, and I wrote it down not knowing if I was going to put it out there, but I know accountability is huge, and I know I did wrong, and so I want to put it out there. And I know a lot of you are going to be like, you know, we all make trips and stuff, and I'm not alone, but it's still something. So the other day I made grilled cheese for my 3-year-old. I took the tiniest bit of a nibble, which, I mean, I'm allowed to have everything that was in that grilled cheese, but toast, cheese, but I still felt horrible doing it. And then the other night I made pizza for my family, and I took a bite, and then I chewed it, and then I was like, oh shit, and I spit it out. Which just reminds me how weak I am in certain areas still. And I think it feeds into the fact that I'm just so bored of what I can eat, that all this other stuff just seems so good. I mean, I've gone on to Pinterest and pinned a bunch of stuff of like recipes that look wicked yummy, but I'm not gonna be able to even start eating that stuff for another 2 weeks. And so, but in 2 weeks it's kind of free game. I can start testing myself with everything, which I can't wait, because then I can have a little bit more variety. Let's see here. So after saying that, I got the collection of my bills from the hospital, or what they billed the insurance company, and then what I'm responsible for, blah, blah, blah. But then I added them all up, and we're talking close to $43,000, which puts something in perspective for me. Like, why are you testing yourself? Why are you testing these limits? You just went through something extremely extensive and expensive. Take advantage of it. And I think that's kind of how I was feeling about getting a hold of my nutritionist. I want to do the best that I can do so that I have the best results, so that I don't feel guilt. I don't know if that's the word I'm looking for, or regret. So I don't regret these early stages. So this week I went for blood work at the hospital. They took like 8 vials out of me to test like all of my vitamin levels and such, and I see my surgeon on Tuesday to get the results from all that, to see how I'm doing in that. So I'm kind of excited to see how that's panned out. And I've also learned, and I was talking to the nutrition about this as well, that depending on what I eat depends on how much I can eat. So if I sit down and have a Greek yogurt, I can have the whole like serving size of it. But if I'm allowed to have fish. If I sit down and eat some fish, I'm only probably able to eat like 2 ounces, and that's it. And what she said, is, normal, and that with the more dense food, you're going to get fuller quicker compared to the yogurts, applesauces, those types of things that I'm allowed to eat at this point. So, which then just makes me want to get to week 7 even quicker, so that I can start eating some of those more dense foods, because I'm just paranoid. Like, sometimes when I'm eating, I'm like, am I really supposed to be able to like eat this much, even though it's not a lot? And I think I'm just a very self-conscious person, and when it comes to me, worry a lot about just everything. And I guess in this case, still being in that, mindset, is this surgery really going to work for me? Even though I'm a month out and since surgery, down 22.4 pounds, but still in my head, I'm just constantly worried about it. But I know it'll work out. Oh, do you hear that? That's our noon whistle in town. Sorry. Doing another car video. Let's see here. So, last but not least, I'm going to have to start back on birth control here in the near future. I know with gastric bypass, obviously you're bypassing some of the intestines, which makes a lot of things that you take in, you're only absorbing so much of it. And so with oral birth control, which I've been on for years, I don't know if it's going to be the best option anymore. And so I'm putting it out there into the world. What are your guys' thoughts? Like, should I change my birth control from oral to maybe the shots or something different? I'm hoping I can just stay on oral because I'm good with that whole process because I've been doing it for years. So I don't know. What you guys think about that? And I'll probably consult my doctor about it, obviously, as well. But yeah. So that is about it for the week. So I'm just pushing through. I actually just learned that the gym here in my town, which is, I live in an extremely small town, just was taken over by the community center in town, and so their rates has actually gotten cut in half. I've been planning on stopping in because the number on their website doesn't work anymore for the old owners, which I didn't know at the time that they were in the process of being taken over. But the community center is a non-for-profit, so they said that they cut the cost in half, and so they actually have a open house or grand opening tonight, and so I'm thinking about going to that to check that out because working out at the school gym is just not working for me at all, which I wish it was. And then the one day I was gonna do Zumba this week at school, I work at a school, when having no after school activities due to lake effects, snow, storming, so then I missed out on that. And so, which I think probably in the grand scheme of things might be good because I do meet with my surgeon this week and I can get clearance to start doing some of that stuff, or at least some people say that I probably should, but I am also a person that kind of, once she has her mindset on something, doesn't anyway. But so, because I really want to get back to working out. I really want to get back to doing the couch to 5K, because obviously I know that I'm not up to the same stamina that I was when I ended it before. There's a 5K I'm interested doing in June, which is on a beach, with some, I forget what it's called, beach survival, something. So, which has, some friends gonna do it with me as well. And there's also a 5K that I want to do, I think it's in like September, which has like, I forgot what that was called. It's in like that Syracuse area. It has the inflation obstacles, and so I want to get back in shape for those things. So, and I know there's one I did early spring, the Warrior Run, a few years ago, which I barely ran any of it because I was quite out of shape, but I still completed it, which I was really proud of. And so I want to look into doing that as well. I mean, I like doing them. They're fun. I know there's some color runs coming up, and I've done one of those before, but it wasn't as fun as I expected it to be. So, but so I want to get back on the treadmill, get back ready for my 5Ks. I'm definitely doing 2. We'll see what else comes available that seems fun and interesting, and if I can rope other people into doing, because it's always funner that way. Or more fun, I should say. Outside of that, y'all, I hope you're having a fantastic week. I've been trying to keep up on videos, but being back to work and everything, it's been a little tougher. But I love you all, and thanks for the support, and I will see you next week. Bye!